money, homie making good, my money need a loan. I'm just getting money, I'm just getting money, homie making good, my money need a loan. I'm just getting money, I'm just getting money, homie making good, my money need a loan. I'm just getting money, I'm just getting money, homie making good, my money need a loan.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Coaches Talk and also Mike Legends Podcast. Excuse me, Sooner Legends Podcast. Sorry, man, about being late, man. But before we get started, please hit that red subscribe button, like the videos, ring the bell so you won't miss any content that we got going forward. I apologize, man, for uh, all the bad comments and all the bad comments for me being late. I apologize about that, man. Had a rough day today, but I'm here now, so let's get it started. What's going on, gentlemen? How's everything going?
Oh, everything is beautiful. We get to exhale just for teensy weensy.
Hey, man, I'm hoping that that's a good thing. Hope that's a good thing. What about you, Mike? Is Mike in here? Is he froze? Boy,
Hey, my,
he got to get
okay,
some more quarters.
but I know we were talking, and I think for doing some digging, I believe this is the best for us. For the simple fact, we got two people that have been defensive coordinators, but more so for Mr. Goodman to be able to get his finances that's due to him.
Yeah.
I think this is what we had to do, and understanding, knowing that Venables is supposedly on the proverbial hot seat, is no better way, and it would have just been someone in name only.
Well, I mean, I kind of blame Clemson for this a little bit.
Uh,
Uh, I don't like when coaches keep secrets from people to keep players there, and then when the 5 days is passed after the bowl game, then you want to do something drastic, and then the players can't go nowhere. I don't like that. I think that's a shitty way to do things.
I hear
Um,
you. I could respect that. Yeah.
if we keep saying the standard is the standard, and no one man or no person at the beginning of the program, we can't say that if we keep doing this and pulling this. I think a lot of coaches have pulled this so far to keep people from transferring to different places and jumping to the portal. So, but when it comes to Oklahoma, I think getting Drooling and everything to come here, to get him to come here and be a linebackers coach, I thought that was kind of odd. I would have
Yeah.
thought that Brian Odom would have got that. But well, like we were saying in the green room, I think that's because Joe C doesn't want anyone that's linked to Lincoln on the staff, and I think that's asinine because he is one of the best linebackers coach that's out right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And see, understanding if we're gonna be that cutting edge team family, then we got to stop worrying about what others think and move accordingly to
Yeah.
what's necessary for us to succeed. And understanding, hey, there's good and bad in everything, but when good, bad, or indifferent, we learn from it and we get better from it. But the ultimate is we need to move according to what's necessary for us to succeed and be in the running for the national title.
Yeah.
There's no other way to go about it, especially after the season we had. We got to keep the checks and balances to, you know,
Well, just like Stevie G says, "Hey guys, thoughts on the two hires and BV as play caller?" Well, for the two hires, I knew that Drooling was the name that everybody was talking about. I just didn't know that he would be a linebackers coach. Then you bring in Wes Goodwin. Now, the thing about Wes Goodwin, he has to be an analyst for this
right.
season. He has to be, or Clemson is not going to pay that bill or put that bill to pay him to be somebody's DC. So, my thinking is BV is going to call the defense this year,
Yeah.
and then maybe next year it'll be Brandon Hall or it'll be Wes Goodwin calling being the new DC, because then you're not losing anything. Uh, excuse me. Wes Goodwin would have the 1 year under his belt. Drooling will have the 1 year under his belt. Now we're going to see what type of momentum that these two guys are going to bring to a program like OU, because we know that Wes Goodwin can call the defense if he has the horses there. He didn't have it at Clemson, but now they're getting the horses. So I did him a misjustice by letting him go, so they could see what he could do with guys that were in the portal. Uh, but I like BV. I like BV on the defense. I mean, who better than to call defense? I mean, once Jim Knowles got out of the equation, it was a
Yeah,
no-brainer to say
yeah.
that BV had to be the play caller on defense, because who you going to bring in that can run that defense like him? And I think having someone like Arbuckle on offense. Now, look at the last time we happened when we had a great offensive coordinator. When Levy was there, we were scoring points, we were winning games. The defense wasn't where it is now. So now you got someone that can call an offense similar or a little bit more aggressive, like Lincoln and Arbuckle. And then you got BV calling the defense. I think it's a win-win.
Yeah, and I'm gonna piggyback, and I'm gonna give you just a little bit deeper insight.
Okay.
I believe this is a bishop move of the chess. And hear me when I say that, because what you have set up is that we know both gentlemen can coach, but what it does is allow them to uh, allow BV to coach, but have their input, but not have the actual finances be a detriment to you.
Yeah.
And so it's actually a huge chess move, but it has to pay off. Because understand, now when we do this, they still got to be honest to make sure that whoever he does choose when it comes time, that they're prepared. But in the meantime, whatever finances we would have put through can now go to what needs their present needs. So in an instance, it can be looked at as a bishop chess move. In my instance, how do you guys feel?
Mike?
You're gonna have to bring me up to speed because I didn't have any quarters in the machine.
No. The question was, let me go back to it. Stephen G asked a question and everything. What are our thoughts on the two hires in BB being the play caller on defense?
I am happy about it.
Okay.
And
Why
let
is
me
that?
tell you why. And let me
All
tell you why. For one, let's not beat around the bush that we was in search of Jim Knowles. Jim Knowles searched us out. Number one. Number two, Brent Venables is the best defensive mind in all of college football. That's not. Could you imagine, Coach? What would you and Bishop's opinion be if Brent Venables was still at Clemson calling the defense? Would they be a top 5 or a top 10?
Shit, top 5.
That's what I'm saying.
They were top 2.
Absolutely.
They were top 1 and 2.
Exactly.
4 years he was there.
My point exactly, Coach. My point exactly. I'm not worried about BV calling the defense, because when you look at the big picture here, does Lincoln Riley, Sark, and Lane Kiffin, do they not get their hands dirty in the offensive schemes at their perspective schools?
Yep.
No, they get their hands dirty.
Okay.
But
so what's wrong?
When you say that, Mike, but hold on, I don't mean to cut you off. But when you say that, you're talking about the side of the ball that is what everybody want to call sexy. That's
exactly.
Yeah.
But my point is,
ugly prom date that you got to take to the prom and everything. We're not talking about that. We're talking about something that's sexy and flashy, and everybody drives to that. This team, and just us talking, this is going to be a nasty defense this year. I think they have something to prove. I think with BV going back to calling the defense, and you add Drooling and you add Wes Goodwin, people don't know how. I'm going to tell you guys about this Clemson connection with all these guys. You're going to see something special this year because you got Wes Goodwin, Chavis, Bates, and BV back together again. And you're going to let BV call defense. So it's back to normal in Clemson. Everything's back to normal. Goodwin was coaching linebackers. He might be coaching linebackers with Drooling. Bates had the defensive line. Chavis had defensive ends. BV was calling the defense. So I agree with you, Mike. I think.
Why is everybody getting their panties in a wad over BV calling the defense? I mean, the same as Stark and all them others I mentioned calls the offense. What the hell is wrong with BV calling the defense?
Because we haven't seen him be successful at doing it here at Oklahoma.
All I'm concerned about is BV's game management. I mean, he had some game management issues. I agree with that, but
Hey.
I take no issue with Brent Venables calling the defense.
I like Shorty's comment, man. This is one that's been bothering me for the last few weeks, and we've talked about it granulously. Can't let Lincoln Riley live rent-free in his head. Time to move on. You are bypassing great additions to this program because you are still butthurt about how Lincoln left and what he took and what he tried to do. Yes, he tried to burn the castle down, but the castle is still up and strong. The castle is still there. It's stronger than it's ever been under Lincoln. Let that stuff go. Not really wanting to hire Brian Odom because you might feel that he has some tie to Lincoln is BS. BS.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
That's just my thought. And somebody said, y'all hear that Rule wants to cancel their spring game due to fears that schools will watch and poach and tamper the players who have a good showing. Well, your spring game is mainly for your fans.
That's all it's for.
That's it. If you want to have a spring game and don't have it televised, that's all you gotta do. Don't have it televised.
And Coach, let's not mince words about that. You're not going to bring out the whole freaking playbook on each side of the ball in a damn spring game.
Look, if you're scared that guys are going to poach your players, then why are you still have them there? If there's, I mean, I know that's kind of crazy for me to say that. If you feel like people are going to come, that should be a compliment to you. Who wants somebody that's trash?
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Hey, Coach Jason just made a hell of a point down at the bottom of the comment.
Where's that?
It'll be on yours. It's not on mine.
Who made a comment?
Jason.
Hall of Fame, Jason.
I am a fan of his stream.
No, it's down at the very. It'll be the last comment on your page.
Okay, hold on. Let me get to it. All right. Why? Okay. Why are they butthurt? Because the motherfuckers are blaming every injury and that shit show on offense. Yep. Look, when we had Levy, we didn't have any of these concerns about offense.
Mm-mm.
We had one complaint about Levy, and everybody know what it is.
Jet sweep, Levy.
Jet sweeps. Jet sweeps was the only complaint that we had about Levy. But he was scoring 40 and 50 and 60 points.
Yeah.
It was just, but look what we got now. We got somebody, man, that's very unique at calling complex offenses. He's putting his quarterback under center. That is the best way you can ever run a bootleg or a play action, because once you turn around and hand the ball or fake handoff, that linebacker has to freeze and wait till he sees the ball. You can't just come up in there and blitz the A and B gap and don't think that the quarterback has handed the ball off or not. When you're in pistol, The running back got to go by the quarterback, so you ain't got to worry about looking anywhere else. You can see everything. But once that quarterback turns his back, you don't see the ball, so you can't blitz. So that split 3 seconds that you might have is very vital and very important. I don't understand why coaches get so complex that they want to change up the whole play action. Play action has always been more effective coming out of an I formation or the quarterback under center. So I don't know. Somebody says if you open the live stream on both Coach Rick's and Mike's channel, you get a fun echo that they can't control. You're with it. Is that on yours or mine?
I,
Oh, well.
now, to get to your point, Coach, and the biggest example I can give is I hear Hall of Fame Jason pull this like a gun all the time. Go back and watch that Alabama game and tell me that was not Kevin Johns calling that game. He was. I will die on that hill. And why did they go away from it when we went and faced LSU?
Hold on. Somebody said the men's basketball team up by 19 with 4 minutes left. Okay.
Awesome. Cool.
Look.
Well, let me
go ahead.
Let me break down something for you. The simple fact is that what we're seeing in our fan base is that some people have a disdain for what happened, but they can't see that it was a formula versus us just totally being bad. It was the right formula or the perfect storm that caused us to have the type of season. In the instance, though, also there's accountability that goes all the way around, even possibly up to the top, that made some lapse in judgment that aided in the type of perfect storm we had. With that, though, you got to just be honest and realize we're better for it that we had to go through that season. So we understand the standard is a standard, and we can't just be okay with him hauling around like we could before in the Big 12, and we could still win 10 to 11 games. Now we got to be on a new grind because we're in a new level. That's all it was. It was a matter of making sure that we understand championship mindset is just that. Recognizing that, hey, we got to raise the standard and always keep checks and balance on our own self in every area of athletics.
Yep.
Bishop, by you saying it, man, it makes me smile, man, because I had just told someone that today. We was refereeing the ball game today, man, and there was this 16-year-old team. They were playing up, and the coach didn't understand why some kids are bigger than others and better than others and this and that and that. And I told him there are stages to this. Just because of your age don't mean that you're going to be on that same level as that team. There's levels to this shit. And if you don't want to put in the work and put in the practice to get to that level, keep your hands over there on the sideline with the other kids and do, well, I didn't say it like that, but stay over there where you can run around with the big dogs. Don't come over here thinking that just because you are tall, that your skills and everything are going to be up to par with this other team. It just don't work that way. And I think a lot of OU fans got to get out of this damn. They're spoiled. Well, yeah. we're spoiled. We're spoiled. Lincoln did spoil us. Yes, he did. And I think that's why everybody's so mad at him for what he did, because he took a prolific offense away from Norman.
Mm-hmm.
They never had a defense, though. The defense was what OU fans were yearning for, because we never had it the way we were supposed to have it. Yeah. So now when BV came here, everyone just assumed that the offense was going to stay the way it has always been. But in order for you to be great at one thing, you got to be great at both. And we've never been great at both. I think this year we will be great at both. Just my opinion. You got an offensive coach that wants to score points. No, I think he's been here long enough and he's heard a lot of the crying and the bitching and the moaning about what we expect, about what we want. We have playmakers in almost every area. So I think it's going to be a great season with BV going to be the play caller. And let's not get it twisted. We can sit here and say what we want to say. Kirby Smart calls that defense. I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
Kirby Smart calls that defense. I don't care who you got as a defensive coordinator. He calls that defense. Period.
I'm going to give Hall of Fame. I'm going to give Hall of Fame Jason a shout out right now. If Venables inherited the same program as Lincoln, we'd have another F&A, 110%.
Oh hell yeah, that's common sense right there. I mean,
Yeah.
see, look, we don't. I don't know what BB has done to make people want to just shit on him the way that they have. But
I don't know.
I don't know if it's the 2, 6, and 7 seasons. But if we really want to be OU fans and if we really want to look at what the problem is, can I say what the problem is?
Go ahead.
Yeah, you might not like me saying this. I'm gonna say it anyway.
Say it.
Our
Go ahead,
AD
Coach.
has to be an AD and stop being a hiring manager.
Thank you.
Yep.
I always feel like the coach should, if you're going to work up under me, I should have all proxy and everything and all opinions when it comes to hiring you or doing what I feel like. Now, you can be in the room while I'm evaluating him, but I don't think that you should have your input on what you feel like is best for calling plays, playing defense. That's why you hired me away from Clemson to come in here and do this, but now you're taking that out of my control.
Can I say something on how I feel about Joe C right now? You want truth? You want me to shoot from the hip?
What's up?
From the heart? We have dollar store Jerry Jones.
Yeah, I told you that last time.
Okay, interesting.
Well, look at it. If okay, we all three have a pod. Let's say we all three have a podcast, and 2 of you guys want to do something that's live and mainstream, and I just want to record in the background and don't want to do anything live. There's a conflict, okay? And then I say, well, I don't want to do this unless it's like this. And then Bishop say, I don't want to do this like this. But then Mike say, well, when you add too many people to the equation to make a decision, everybody's gonna start having a different opinion. I just feel like if this is BV's last year by some people, let him do it the way he want to do it.
Yep.
That way we can't say, well, we gave him this, we gave him that. No, I don't think he's really never, and this is just my opinion, guys. I haven't read anything. I think he's really never had everything, the final say so. I think that's come from the administration. I don't think BV really had the final say so.
And now that I can shoot straight from the hip, let me give you my gumbo.
Go ahead.
The facts of the matter is, this was the first time he's been perplexed, or call it fire tested, to where he had to really dig deep and start saying, okay, how can I get better at making sure that the standard is the standard? If I keep teaching that, then also I have to show it, my coaching staff have to show it, and my leadership have to show it. We all have to be on one accord.
Yeah. No, I get that. And I think right here what Jason just said, the loud majority is just going to bitch. And they've been doing that. Look, the one thing that I don't understand is that we have eyes, we have ears, we've seen, and we've heard a lot of stuff. What other coach do you know could go through what BV has went through? Family, bad hiring, offensive line dismantled, 6 of your top receivers out, and coordinators shuffling in and out like they're playing hopscotch. Who could have had a great season doing that or have that happen to them? Nobody. So I think a lot of us OU fans, man, we're blind and complex to where we don't want to see what we see. We just want results, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I definitely can attest to that. But with that though, what it does is show you that, okay, even though we went through something like that, because of us having to play the young men on our offensive line, their first start wasn't as good as their last start. But that's what growth allows you to do when you go through the fire. Is they got to go through the fire and start realizing there's a different standard to this. There's difference than practicing versus playing in a game. And they raised up their standard to where at the end, we had no concerns about them playing in a game. That's growth. That's development. So we're headed in the right direction. But once again, if you don't have all the components as one, then no matter what you got, you still don't have the right team moving forward as one.
Yes. Well, I agree with that. I agree with that. And I'm trying to look at something right quick. So I can bring it up. Well, someone was asked, oh, here it is right here, Nate. Coach, who's the other coach other than West? Nate Drooling, the defensive coordinator from Utah State. He's the new linebackers coach. That's what I was talking about. Mike has his hand up like he's trying to show you he's getting new to. Man, look, Mike need to get his internet. He need to get that new wire internet. If Venables inherit the same program as Lincoln, yes. Oh yes, man. Look, Lincoln had. Well, here's the one thing: if BB would have had Georgia down by 17 points, you ain't coming back from that. You not. With Baker and all those guys and BB, come on, man. I'm going to give Hall of Fame James a shout out right now. Every dancer after he left. Boy, Rhyme and Lemon always doing something crazy. I'm trying to find. Jason said, "Don't get me started on that." Well, Jason, man, hey fellas, no disrespect, but I am just not a BB guy. Gabriel, I think if you're the same guy, man, I know you're not, but I understand how some of you guys may say that. But you got to look at the overall aspect of this. You got to have seen what this man has went through and what he had. He's never had what Texas had. Texas came in here. Okay, let's do it like this. Sark first year, Texas still had a top 5 recruiting class. And they went what? 5 and 6?
Yeah.
Okay. BB had 48 scholarship guys when he took over.
5 and 7, I think. Excuse me.
BB had 47 or 48 scholarship guys when he came over and took over. Didn't complain, didn't bitch about what Lincoln took or whatever. And he took it to a bowl game. Now, let's be honest. If someone didn't fumble the ball when we was moving the ball down the field, we'd have won that game against Florida State.
Ouch.
But a young team playing a good team, and it just happened. But this is the year to where everything turns around. I think that Arbuckle wants to be here, and I think he really wants to be here. It's something special about when you're playing for your wife's best team, and you're a coach for that team. It's good to go home after a win. Very good to go home. Mike, you back? You good?
When I get something coming up to cook with, the internet does its thing. I'm losing my juice.
Okay.
It's killing my vibe.
Hello, fellas. No disrespect, but I am not a BB big BB guy. I wish I could talk to you guys in person because typing shit would not do my statement justice. Well, hey, one day, man, look, I'll give you a private chat. And if you want to come in, man, one day and me and you talk, I have no problem with that, man. I have no problem with that. Matter of fact, let me do this. Try to do something to you here in a few minutes, Gabriel. I'll get you on here in a few minutes so we can chat afterwards and everything if need be. I'll send you my number and we can chat. Like I said, I have no problem doing that, man, because I'm a person, man, that I love to agree or disagree. Because you may have a different opinion and there's something that you might know that I don't know, but I'm telling you from what a coach does and what a player does and what a fan does. I can say for all three, it is hard and difficult to get blamed for shit when you know how you can fix it, but you're not being able to fix it. You're not being allowed to fix it. Let that soak in. If he didn't want Seth, but he was given Seth, and then bad things happened, the record went south, he still took the blame, even though he didn't want Seth.
Yep.
So a lot of this falls on the administration, but they don't want to take the fall, so BB's taking the fall. So that's what I'm trying to say. So, Gabriel, to your point, the reason why BV can't be BV is because he has a lot of things fighting against him to be BV, if that makes sense.
Dollar store Jerry Jones for one.
We now have another good OC and quarterback coach. Now it's a matter of letting him do the work, and we don't have to fix the defense anymore. Look, I'm going to say this, and I want everybody to start putting what they feel in the comments. All right? I'm going to give you guys a scenario. You guys give me a response. Gabriel, you too, my man. You too. All right. Let's say Oklahoma leads the SEC in scoring, leads the SEC in defense. What do you think their record would be?
I'm going to say,
just put it in the comment. Besides you guys, just put it in the comment, you guys, and besides Mike and Bishop, I want to hear what you guys say.
At minimum 9.
Okay, Bishop.
9-3 minimum.
9-3. Okay.
That's minimum.
Okay. All right. And I'm gonna start reading some of these. I'm gonna send Jason this. If he wants to come in, he can. If not, I understand. I know he's busy. Okay. I'm gonna say 10-2.
I was going to go that route.
Well, here's the thing. We're going to be playing teams. We're going to be playing 3 teams that have returning quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tennessee, South Carolina. Oh, God, who was the other one? Who was the other one that I had? Oh, LSU.
That's what. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those are 3 quarterbacks that we're going to have back from next year. Now, Jackson Arnold is new. I mean, Manning is new. I mean, even though he played some, but he's still going to be considered a new quarterback. So with the defense being the number 1 in the SEC, that means that you're going to be very physical and that you're going to be controlling the ball, controlling the clock. If you're going to be number 1 offense, that means you're going to be scoring points and controlling the clock as well. So, hey, Jason, I sent you an invite, man. So there's one there. If you want to jump on, there's one there. Hold on. Gabriel said had multiple coaches that were already great in their own right. Dude was born on third base and never knew it. Well, I don't know about that. I think BV has come a long way, man. He wasn't the same BV that we got back when he left. He needed to go to Clemson to be the BV that he is right now. He had to go there. All right. Who would have been the OC? Think Riley would have stuck around if BV had gotten the gig in 2017? No. BV is not going to be do a lateral move from Clemson to Oklahoma and be a DC. He's not doing that. Because as you guys don't know, he was like Jesus in Clemson. So why would he leave to come here and be a lateral move when he could just come here and be the head coach? And I think it was a great hire, making him a head coach at Oklahoma. Hey guys, welcome into the show. The one and only Jason. Jason Big Daddy. I'm calling him Big Daddy from now on. Big Daddy.
Big Daddy J.
Big Daddy J. What's going on, big dog?
What up, dog? What y'all doing? What you talking about?
Man, we trying to sit here, man, and let people know, man, that the BB that we got back from Clemson was a better version of the BB when he left.
Yeah.
He had to go to Clemson. He had to go to Clemson to become who he is right now.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
I agree. I don't know what's going on with it, but I'll tell you this. Derek, if they lead the conference in scoring, is that what you asked him a second ago?
Lead the SEC in scoring, lead the SEC in defense.
Oh, then they lead the SEC in defense and scoring? They win the national championship. What are we even talking about?
Well, you gotta look at it like this. They were pretty high this year, and they were trash.
They didn't. Hey, whoa. They didn't lead the conference in scoring this year.
No. I just said they were high in those other characteristics, not scoring. Scoring, they were double trash.
No, that's not the same question.
Yeah. So I got you on that one. But I'm saying tackle for loss, they were real high on that.
Yeah.
Sacks.
No, but if they're leading the conference in defense, then that means they're going to be in the top 10 minimum.
Yeah. Hey, I just think a lot of people are sleeping on Mateer. I've heard some more Jason comments about, well, he didn't play the level of competition that he's going to play right now.
Yeah.
But to counter that, he's never had those quarter horses.
This is also his second year in the system and all that other shit too. I think that you got to kind of look at that in those terms as well. Here's what I'm going to say about Mateer. Now, first off, that was a hell of a hypothetical because I don't know that that's what's going to happen as far as leading the country or whatever, or leading the conference on offense too. I think that LSU is going to have something to say about that, and they've got a quarterback that's first round graded already. They've got receivers. I think they're going to be really good. But I think you can be really good on defense. I think you're probably going to be the best defense in the conference, or at least a top 2 defense in the conference, I would say, right? Mm-hmm. Offensively, I think you need to be somewhere around 30th or 40th in the country, and you're probably going to win minimum 9, probably. If that's the case with the defense. If you're that good on defense and you're top 30 or 40, you're gonna win 10 games.
Yeah.
But again, I don't think nobody wants to like expect that. And first off, I'm not really saying that that's what's going to happen. I'm saying there is the possibility though. You have to, man, we were talking about this the other day. Can you imagine there was 3 games that they should have won anyway.
Yeah.
They damn sure should have won the damn Missouri game. That was a shit show. On 2 levels, it was a shit show. And hell, if Jackson Arnold didn't, turn crazy and lose his damn mind in the Tennessee game, they win that one too. Mm-hmm. And then they were leading at the half against Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Look, and this is with the worst offense in the history of Oklahoma football, probably.
Yeah. That's what I think people don't understand is that
they still could have won 9 games. Are you shitting me?
You can't even go back and try to find a date or time when Oklahoma played this bad on offense. But let's get this question out by Scott. Hey, Coach Riggs, does OU have too many hands in the cookie basket? Everything I hear, Seth wasn't BB's hire and the other hires. What do you guys think?
Too many Chiefs, not enough Indians.
I think we got too many people trying to roll their own direction.
I've been saying
it needs to come together as one.
I think what Bishop was saying earlier that I think that you're going to have to start having And I mean, I think that you backed it up after that with saying what you said, Coach Ricks, but I don't know what's going on with Joe C, and I'm not going to just sit here and call for his head, but I don't love the direction that it seems like it's been going in for a while now. And I know for damn sure that he had something to do with making the decision to hire Seth.
Yeah.
And it's all this, you know, I love it that, you know, you have the ability to get some really good coaches that have been here before, whatever. Purple. Until Joe C comes out and says that Purple says it's BV's hire. You know what? It's BV's hire because he said it is. But I'm going to tell you that I know better, and whatever you can say what you want. And you know what? Here's the beauty of it. Venables doesn't fucking blame it on anybody else.
Yeah. Well, he won't blame it on nobody else.
No, he won't. He's not that dude. He's not ever going to do that. But
nope.
But it's the same people that are going to sit here. If you're going to sit there and say that, you're probably going to sit there and say that it's his fault that they went 6 and 7 the first year too. When they lost 45 guys, including 2 5-star quarterbacks and the best players on defense that weren't freshmen.
Yeah. Baby never said it was his hire exactly.
He did say it. He did. He said it was his hire.
Oh yeah.
He said it was his hire, but people who knew the program.
He made a mistake. You know what? Great. But Duke just said it. He didn't hire him. I don't think he wanted to hire him, and I know for freaking sure that he tried to fire him before the season ever started. Can't hear you, Coach.
I got it.
Facts.
I got it. Well, look, at the end of the day, we got to look at it like this. We all know that Joe C had his hand in the cookie jar when it came time to hire a lot of these things and when he didn't want. And my opinion, like I said before, I would have thought that if you're going to bring in Drooling and make him a linebackers coach, what was wrong with
a baller too, man?
Yeah.
Bogdanowski said the other day, he goes, that guy is fucking real good. And his dad's a legendary coach in Kansas too.
Mm-hmm.
I look at it
right naturally.
And I thought that Brian Odom would have been a good candidate, but everybody keeps saying, I mean, I'm hearing, and like I said, I don't know how true it is, that the tie to Lincoln kind of didn't go good for him. I don't know how true that is. But I'm just saying that Joe C can't be like Shorty said earlier, you can't keep letting Lincoln live rent-free in your head, Joe C. You got to let that shit go. Stop penalizing people that might have been on that staff that was doing their job and was thinking about security. And then now you don't want to go get them because they either went to USC or whatever. This is about job security, man. This is not about, you got coaches, man, that depend on these guys to do good, because if not, they're looking for a job. So, it is what it is.
All right. But I mean, hell, they're a few plays away in that first season from winning 9 games there too. I mean, they had 4 losses by 3 points. And hell, the Texas Tech game, go back and watch that shit. Man, he made that fucking field goal.
That was a good field goal.
I'm just saying.
Stevie Wonder could have seen it.
Hey, well, let's move on to something more positive. Does everybody really love the idea that BB is going to be calling the defense?
I do.
Does everybody really like it?
Yeah, dude. I don't have a problem with it at all. Here's the thing.
No problem.
I think that Dreiling is a good coach, and he might end up being a really good coach. We'll see. He's young, whatever. You're gonna have to find out. Right now, they need to make sure that they do what they do.
Now,
you know what I mean? He needs to go out there and ensure that defense is top 10 in the country, top 20 in the country at worst. And that has to happen right now. Because if not, why is he here? because if they've lost these games or whatever last year. But here's the deal about it. If we're gonna forget about the 6 and 7, there's reasons behind it, and you can say what you want, but tell me which other. Let's just even stay in the SEC. Can you? What if Georgia lost 6 receivers?
Yep.
5 of them before a game was over with.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think they would have done last year? Same with LSU. Same with anybody, Tennessee, any of them. I don't care. It would not have been that way. It wouldn't. I mean, they wouldn't have won the shit either. Now, we can sit here and talk about it's his fault for hiring Seth Luttrell. Okay, fine. Who gives a shit? It wasn't going to matter. If Seth was freaking Lincoln Riley, they wouldn't have done very good because they lost that many dudes. And the line was also patchwork. What, 9 out of 12 games? They didn't have this. They had different lineups.
Almost every damn game.
Yeah. Jason, can I ask you a question on this?
Yeah.
With BB taking over the reins and everything, do you think this sort of takes him off the hot seat, so to speak?
I said earlier in the chat, I don't think he's going anywhere this year unless they were worse than they were last year, and I don't see a way that happens.
Me either.
Me neither.
Well, you got to look.
If they were worse, if they're worse than last year, how would that even happen? I mean, you'd have to lose everybody again, which I just don't even know how you could do it. We've never seen that kind of injury problem before. And look, they jettisoned those guys too. So maybe it was more than injuries. Maybe it was. I mean, I hate to say it, but how many of them were really hurt? I don't know.
And can I piggyback?
Go ahead.
Yo, just think about it. And we got a quarterback coach starting off in winter ball.
Run the damn football. But I also the point I was going to make is you asked the question. Look, I don't think this is his last season. They're not going to pay his last $35 million to not coach here unless they really fall apart this year.
Yes, Purple. He is. He's an analyst now. They just announced it today. So when you have Drooling and you have West Tech, this is just my thought. BV will call it this year, and either Brandon Hall or Wes Goodwin will call defense next year. One of those two.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just think that those two guys can really call it. And it'll let BV go back to being a CEO. And here's the thing. I hate using that word CEO. Why? You think that Kirby is really a CEO?
No, he definitely calls defense.
He calls defense, and he's going crazy on the sideline. He does not give a damn about offense.
Saban called defense his entire career at Alabama, and I don't give a shit how many guys he had at defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
So using that word CEO, I just think we never complained when Lincoln called offense here. We never said Lincoln needs to hire an OC. We were happy with the sexy thing that he put on the field, even though the defense was trash. Speed D my ass. That was terrible.
Very.
So you got a guy that can, and he's getting all the Joes. He's getting all those people that he needs. They had an article down here in the Charlotte Gazette and everything, to where Wes Goodwin was saying that it'll be nice having the band. His exact words: "It'll be nice having the band back together again."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Because these guys know BV. These guys know what he can bring to the table.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, man, from everything I'm hearing about Riley, he may be very, very big time addition to this program. He might be. So, you get him as a linebacker coach. I mean, he left a DC job to take the linebacker coaching job, so it means you're paying him well. But they wouldn't have went out and made this hire if not for it. They knew they needed him. So that's the thing. Look, Benji was talking about all this stuff yesterday, and I don't know what he's saying right now, but he was talking about how you have to recruit good every year. Well, they have. They were 17th
Oh, yeah.
this past year because of the fact that they had 17 or 18 players that they got. They were going to go into the portal and make big moves there, and they've loaded up at the positions that they needed to the point that you aren't going to help yourself by going and getting more in that position from the high school ranks
No.
that weren't going to play. You needed guys that were going to make because you lost Nick Anderson and Jalil Farouk and all of those guys off the receiving core other than your other guy.
Well, here's the thing,
You know
man.
what?
Maybe you guys can put it into a better light than I can. Look at what they have on offense,
Fucking loaded.
and let's see. And
Loaded.
I don't think, and even Arbuckle has even said it. He's never had these many weapons. He said, my hardest job is to try to get the ball in everybody's hands.
Bingo.
He said that's the hardest part of his job is he wants to put the ball in everybody's hand. And that's good for an OC to say because nobody hardly ever says that. Everyone always said they want to play complementary football. We want to get out there and do this, do that. He said, my hardest
Lewis has
job.
been a dog everywhere he's at, and they're talking about how great he's been already since he got there. Giovanni, we know what Giovanni's going to do. He's going to come in and play like a freaking man possessed because he wants it so bad.
Yeah.
I've never seen somebody so excited talking about football.
No.
It's refreshing, man, because it wasn't that way last year, but to hear how he's loving it, how the nutrition is, how the weightlifting is going, how the teammates are like a big old, it's a family.
Oh, he's hungry, man. He's
He
hungry.
said
as hell.
it's a family. He said, I ain't got brothers. I got dogs next to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I love hearing that, man, because
Yep.
when you say player, I got good players. But when you say I got some dogs next to me, it just means
Because
something a little bit different.
he's used to being the dog, you know.
He used to be the
He
only
was
dog.
talking that
Now,
shit before the Arkansas game last year. You know, he was talking that shit, and I was loving it. When I was reading about this and stuff, I was like, "Good." He didn't give a shit that he was walking in there with UAPB to play the Hogs in their house. He was like, "They ain't that good in the secondary," but he had a trash quarterback. He had a trash quarterback.
He does it now.
He doesn't know.
Oh, yes, he has a Smitty story. I gotta tell y'all this. He has a Smitty story.
Oh, I gotta hear this one.
He gets in there, and Smitty wants to work him out on bench. Now, he said he gets in and he starts benching, throwing them up, and there are so many that receivers are supposed to do. Receivers have to do a certain amount for Smitty's expectation. So let's get the number of 15. Devontae did 22 and was trying to do more, and he got stuck and he got pissed off that he couldn't get the 23rd one up.
Nice.
He said Smitty told him that he ain't got to come back. He ain't got to come back. Because when you have somebody like that, Jason, man, that's gonna give their all just for weightlifting, what do you think he's gonna do on the field?
Damn.
So I'm excited, man. And he's told me stories about some of the other guys and everything, man. He was like, these guys are, he said he's never seen guys work so hard. He's always been the one guy that's the first one in, last one out.
Did you hear what Dent said on my show the other day?
Yes.
Talking about that these guys are saying, I don't want to be the reason. We don't want to be the reason
to
that
get
coach
BD
gets
fired.
fired.
Yeah.
And he said,
Facts.
well, all of them are like that.
Unfinished business.
My buddy just texted me and he has a question for you, Mateer.
So
He's asking. A buddy of mine just texted me and has a question for you about John Mateer.
okay.
Did y'all get that? He said, even though Mateer played good at Wazoo, is he athletic enough to play in the league in the SEC with Oklahoma? His athletic ability.
Can I have first shots at that?
Absolutely. Because he was working with less and he still found a way to get it done. And he bought into Arbuckle's system and utilized it to where he was efficient enough to put up numbers. What do you do when you have better components to play with?
Yeah. Well, here it is like this. Is if you got so many guys around you and they're better than what you had at one place, you can't. I'm trying to make this as easy as I can make it. Is if you have 11 guys that are all dogs, there's no way that you can try to say, well, I'm going to worry about just these 5, because then the other 6 going to kill you. You can't say I can worry about this, because now you got Deion Burks, you got Giovanni, you got Jaden Gibson, you got let's say Cortez. You got 4 receivers right there. All right. Then you got X-Rod, you got Tatum. That's 2. Then the quarterback is one that everybody thinks is not going to do anything. He's one that's going to kill you. Because if you blitz him, he'll just run. So you got all these weapons. It's like going to a candy store. You can get whatever you want. So they can either run the ball or they can throw the ball.
Whatever you like.
So I think that's a bad question to ask. Look, OU's going to be scary this year. Let's just go ahead and say it. They're going to be scary.
I think it's fair to say that he has to prove that he can play at this level and get that kind of production. But 44 touchdowns is still 44 touchdowns, folks.
Yeah. Well, you got to, I mean, look.
And it was still Division I football.
rushing.
We're not talking about him playing it, it's not a JUCO deal. And the JUCO is actually really good. But I'm just saying the bottom line, he had 3,000 yards passing. He had almost 1,000 yards rushing. And he had 44 touchdowns. Believe me, the losses that they had, you could blame, they lost to Wyoming. They lost to New Mexico. He didn't play defense.
The games that OU lost.
Well, he was talking about Wazoo. People are saying that shit.
Oh, okay.
But he would have been worth, dude, here's the thing. A healthy material on that, even on that team, I don't know how much it would have helped, but it probably would have been worth another 1 or 2. We know for sure that they were good enough to win against Mizzou. They were good enough to win against Ole Miss, and they were good enough to win against Tennessee. Hell, if Hawkins plays those 3 games, they win them.
Yeah.
They have 9 wins. Nobody's saying shit today about that. But that's the facts. At the very least, they win a couple of them. I think the biggest mistake that I'll put it on BV, that he ever went back to Jackson Arnold. I understand pulling him for the South Carolina game because of what had just happened. Once they've got rid of fucking Seth Luttrell's ass, they should have stuck him right back in the game.
Yeah.
Period. Well, end of story.
Let
him go through it. You know what I'm saying?
Does anybody have? I mean, I think after being in the SEC for a year, does anybody fear the SEC like we used to fear it before OU or Texas got in there?
Coach said it a few minutes ago that they're everybody except for 3 teams are going to be playing new quarterbacks too.
Yeah, Tennessee, and South Carolina, and
listen, I think it's going to be tough to beat Tennessee LSU on the road at Neyland Stadium. I think it's going to be a tough place to play. I think it's going to be a tough place to go win at South Carolina, although I don't believe that South Carolina is going to be very good. I bet you they fall off again.
Yeah.
I bet you they do, because that's what Beamer is.
He has that one good year, and everybody here in Columbia goes happy.
And last year wasn't even that good a year. Who did they beat that was worth the shit?
They just had close games. That's all they had was close games. Nathan says, Coach, I understand how all the other coaches coach at Clemson. How does Utah State quarterback have top? You mean his Utah State's DC have ties to them? Is that what he means? I don't know this question. I'm trying to understand it. I don't know what he means, Coach. I understand how all the other coaches coach at Clemson. How does Utah State quarterback have ties to them? I don't know what that means because we don't have Utah State's quarterback. I don't know. We'll just see how it is. Armoo's head says Georgia will be better but they'll still be having a new quarterback.
Here's the thing about it.
We won't play them unless you get them in Atlanta, folks.
The bottom line is there's no better time to get all of these teams because now we got a full coaching staff. Now let's go play the game and see how it comes out. At least we know without a shadow of a doubt, we're not concerned that can Arbuckle call a game. That's out of the AO. So now let's go play.
Do you guys think that it's going to be something that I don't want to say Lincoln because I hate saying that. I think this offense is going to be very unique to where it's going to be different than what anybody in the SEC has seen.
Yeah, listen, I watched every play that he's called that you can find anyway. You're gonna find a lot of Western Kentucky
on YouTube,
games, but everything that I can find, I've seen it. And yeah, he runs the air raid, and but he runs a version of the air raid, but he don't give a shit. He would line up in triple option if it felt like it was gonna work. I've seen him in the jumbo package a shit ton. I like that.
Yes, the jumbo package is something that you're going to like because you put a lot of skilled players.
Hell, Coach, you said it yourself. Whenever you're under center, your running back is already going downhill whenever you hand him the fucking football.
Yes,
definitely.
And play action better.
That pistol slows the running back down because he don't know if you're going to give him the ball or not. So he's dancing in the hole. He's not hitting it. When you do
I don't
center,
like the read option at all.
I hate pistol. I hate the read. I hate all of it because the defense sees everything. Nobody has their back turned to the defense. So I've always taught my linebacker and everything is that when the quarterback shows you a read, if you blow it up, if you're there fast on to blow it up, he has one decision to do: pull that ball and run with it. And then now my ends can eat that ass up. So that's all anybody did against OU last year was blitz the A and B gap. The quarterbacks had to roll out, and the defensive ends were eating their ass up all game. Now, when you're under center and you're turning your back to that defensive end can't blitz now because if you don't hand that ball off, he loses outside containment.
Facts.
Now it's oh shit moments, and against Mateer, he's gonna eat your ass up. So. Yeah. It's gonna be a different sign, man. I mean, I'm excited, man.
I think the same with Hawkins. Even if the concern I think is that you worry about if you don't want to probably run in the same amount that he was running in the Mountain West, right?
Yes.
You run like that against SEC defenders, you're probably going to get hurt. I'd rather see him get 300 or 400 yards than 800. Just so you know, I mean, that's what I've hoped for. But I think no matter what, I think that you can depend on Hawkins being a lot better in 8 months under time if there was an injury situation. And then, hey man, the kid from Western or wherever it is, West Carolina or
who?
The other quarterback, Martinez is his name or something?
He's from I believe it was Western Carolina or no.
That dude, man. Have you guys watched any of him? That guy can fucking play.
He can ball, man.
He can ball, dude. He's really good. And I heard somebody talking about that before. It was Andy Staples was talking about him because I don't know why he knows. I guess neighbors with their family or something.
Did you guys see the OU score? Basketball score?
Yeah,
I saw that.
They beat the brakes off Vanderbilt.
He's good, man.
97-67.
Beat that ass.
And Vanderbilt beat
Vandy's
they beat
good.
them.
They've been good.
That's what I was about to say. But you took the words right out of my mouth.
Breaks off.
That was a good one for them. Good. They needed that.
Yeah.
Man, look. But okay, one final question before you guys, because I gotta get off. My wife wants me to go get something to eat for her. Quick question for the whole panel and for everybody else. Does a 10-2 OU make it to the college football playoffs?
That's a non.
Duh.
That's an easy. Yeah, you can't be 9-3 probably. I think they proved that you can't be 9-3 probably, but 10-2, yeah, absolutely.
10-2.
Strength of schedule?
Well, that's what I was saying, because
yeah, you're gonna have beat. If you do that, then you'll beaten some. You will have beaten some combination of LSU, Alabama, Michigan. You know, Ole Miss. Come on, man.
well, with the defense that we
Tennessee on
got
the
coming
road,
back,
South Carolina, and they got South Carolina in the damn top 10.
well,
Which is
everybody's we
ridiculous.
still going off last year. We're still going off last year.
No, but either way you look at it, you know that they still have Alabama ranked, and they should be because of the talent. Michigan is. I don't know how great they're going to be, but they've got to be better on offense, and they may. I don't know that they'll be necessarily as good on defense, but I still think they'll be pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
You need to win that game probably, but in any event, that's a lot of big wins. At 10-2, that means that you've beaten a lot of really good football teams.
Yeah.
But hey,
Oh yeah, hell yeah! That means you've beaten Texas. You know what I'm saying? You have had to have beaten Texas or Bama.
I think everybody, man, I feel a little bit different when it comes to Alabama. I know it's still Alabama. I know they still get the studs down there, but I think after what we saw last year, the way that defense did to
Coach, don't say it.
no.
Don't jinx that shit.
No.
Don't do it.
I'm not going to say anything. No. This wasn't. I'm not predicting a W. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the way we played last year. I don't think there's the fear of going into Alabama. That's all I was going to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought you were predicting their
Oh, no,
demise
no,
like
no,
Coop
no,
was the other
no,
day.
hell no.
Fuck that. Don't do that.
You still got to play the game.
Oh, yeah.
You still got to lace them up, put your shoes on. You still got to go there and play. I'm just saying that I like this defense with the new additions that we got and the guys that got better through weight training and with what you want to call it, nutrition and getting better. The guys that we didn't even see. I think David Stone's gonna be a beast next year.
Oh, brother, he was already turning into him at the end of the year. He was turning into a freaking dog, a wrecking machine.
I don't think DeBoer is on the hot seat. I think that
he kind of is. He better not lose 3 again, or else his ass is going to be in deep shit going into year 3.
Think so?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Hey man, you think they're crazy here? You think they're crazy here?
Yeah.
Hey, I've been in some of those chats. He ain't lying.
For Cocoa
They be
Puffs.
talking.
Really?
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, brother. Love all the AAA guys. Love all the I don't love Alabama, but I don't hate them either. I got respect, and they still have a shit ton of talent, by the way. But there's very few of those. Well, whether it be podcasters or traditional media, whatever you want to call it, they're not giving him any leeway here. Now, what they need to, if they don't go get Ryan Grubb, they're out of their damn mind. Because their offensive play calling was not good.
Yeah, I just think they're going through their own deal where they just coming off Saban and they want to still hold that same type of standard to him and not allow him to go into his position.
To follow, brother.
Yeah, that's a huge. Yeah.
Can I run a question around the panel right quick?
Hey, go ahead, brother.
Ties in with my title.
Go with it. Go get it.
With you 3, what 3 games will be critical for the 2025 season for us?
Hold on.
I'll go. Michigan, LSU, and Texas.
You think so?
I think Michigan, Texas, and Alabama.
Jason, what you think?
Well, I think, Michigan for sure. It's the second game. You need to win that game. It's critical for the rest of the, just for momentum going forward. And you go out there and you put some points up on that's going to, on a real program in the big, bad Big Ten, then that's going to, you feel better about it because you couldn't really do shit against anyone last year. So if they go out there and put, like what Texas did to them this year, if you can go out there and put 30, that's big. Now, I don't know, man. I think that the road games are critical. I would say LSU, except for I don't think it's so much LSU because it's the last game. It may be critical, but I think it will have been critical long before that. You know what I mean? So I think that the Texas game is certainly that. I think, but to be honest with you, I think the first few games is probably where you have to get going. You don't, man, you better beat the shit out of Auburn and Jackson Arnold, period.
Yeah. Yes.
You better beat the shit out of them. And then you better you need to beat Texas too. So for me, I think if we're talking 3 games, I want to go win those 3 games first because they're the first ones we get to that matter.
Yeah.
Facts,
Jason.
Hey, fellas, I got to get ready to get off here. My wife, she said that she's going to go get her something to eat if I don't go get it.
You better listen to mama. I'm out.
Hey.
I'll see y'all later. Thanks for having me, man.
Hey, man.
Yes.
Always, man. Horns down, man. You guys. Love you guys, man. Y'all have a good one.
Love you, brother. Talk to you
Hey,
later.
man, I will see you guys later, man. We'll probably do this, man, probably again Tuesday, man. Until then, horns down. You guys have a wonderful weekend, man.
You too,
Boy,
Coach.
Coach Rick's out, man. Have a good one.
Money making good, my money need a loan. I'm just getting money. I'm just getting money. Money making good, my money need a loan. I'm just getting money. I'm just getting money.